In a world where decisions shape our lives, how can we ensure that we make the right ones? How can we become masters of reasoning, effectively assessing arguments and solving problems? Welcome to the realm of thinking logically, where we uncover the power to navigate life's complexities and make informed choices. Today, we embark on an exciting journey into the world of informal logic, a practical approach to enhance your critical thinking skills. Get ready to unravel the secrets of deductive arguments, the key to mastering logic and making compelling claims. Are you ready to unlock the secrets of effective reasoning? With the power of informal logic, we can navigate the challenges of our daily lives with confidence. Let's delve into the world of deductive arguments and discover how they shape our understanding. In this series, we'll explore the art of constructing good arguments. Today, our focus is on deductive arguments, what they are, how they work, and why they matter. Our ultimate goal is to equip you with the skills to recognize and create strong deductive arguments. Before we dive in, let's define some important terms. A claim is a statement about the value, truth, or existence of something. An argument is a claim supported by evidence. A conclusion is the main claim or assertion in an argument. Premises are statements of evidence supporting the conclusion. A good deductive argument provides solid support for its claims. It allows us to move from a conclusion to the premises that back it up. To evaluate the strength of an argument, we must assess the validity of its evidence. Let's explore how to break down a deductive argument into its components. Just as we approach any problem, we break it down into manageable pieces. Deductive arguments are no different. Our first step is to identify its parts. First, the premises, which are statements providing evidence. Second, the conclusion, which is the main claim the argument makes. The challenge lies in distinguishing the conclusion from the premises. Remember, the conclusion can be anywhere in the argument, not necessarily at the end. How do we identify the conclusion then? Start by determining the main idea or point the argument seeks to prove. Look for evidence that supports this claim. That's where the conclusion lies. Let's practice identifying the conclusion using the following statements as an example. He was a Spartan, so he must have been a good warrior. All Spartans were good warriors. Breaking it down, we have 1. He was a Spartan. 2. He must have been a good warrior. 3. All Spartans were good warriors. To find the conclusion, we assess which claim has supporting evidence. Here, he must have been a good warrior is supported by the fact that he was a Spartan, and all Spartans were good warriors. Hence, he must have been a good warrior is the conclusion. Remember, an indicator that can help you identify the conclusion is the use of words like so or similar phrases. These often signal that the conclusion is about to be presented. Fantastic job! Identifying the conclusion is a crucial step in understanding an argument. But remember, the conclusion can appear anywhere in the argument, so it's essential to analyze the entire structure. Now that we can identify the conclusion, let's move on to the next important step, evaluating an argument. To determine if an argument is sound, we must consider two key factors. Step 1. Evaluate the premises. Ask yourself, are the premises true or false? If even one premise is false, then the argument based on it cannot be sound. This step is often overlooked, but it's vital in assessing the strength of an argument. Remember, don't underestimate the importance of evaluating the truthfulness of the premises. It's the foundation upon which the argument stands. Step 2. Examine the logic of the argument. Ask yourself the following questions. What is the conclusion? What evidence supports it? Is that evidence logical? If the evidence logically supports the conclusion, then the argument is considered sound. For example, We may say, all men are mortal. Joe is a man. Therefore, Joe is mortal. Here we have premise number 1. All men are mortal. Premise number 2. Joe is a man. Conclusion. Joe is mortal. This is a valid and sound argument because the two premises are true and logical, and the logic of the argument works, which is to say we can infer the conclusion from the two premises. If the logic of the argument works, then the argument is valid. Thus, whether an argument is valid or not is dependent on its form or structure. Please note, however, that an argument may be valid and yet be false, since in a valid argument, one or more of the premises may be wrong or false. For example, an argument such as, all men are grandfathers. Jim is a man. Therefore, Jim is a grandfather, is logically valid, but it is untrue because the original premise is false. It's not true that all men are grandfathers, which means that the argument is not sound. So, you may be wondering if, in case the evidence logically supported the conclusion, would that mean the argument is valid? And the answer is exactly. Validity is determined by the logical connection between the premises and the conclusion. If the logic works, then the argument is valid. But then, what if the argument is valid, yet the premises are false? Well, that is a great question. In that case, the argument may be valid, but it's not sound. Remember, soundness requires both true premises and logical validity. As a short aside, keep in mind that while evaluating evidence, we must acknowledge that establishing absolute truth can be challenging. We often deal with tentative statements based on our current knowledge. It's essential to treat these statements as sufficiently established facts for practical purposes. Our ultimate aim is to construct and ensure the arguments we encounter are sound, arguments with both true premises and logical validity. So, how can we achieve this? By following these steps, we can ensure the soundness of an argument. First, identify the main conclusion. Second, identify the premises supporting the conclusion. Third, evaluate the truthfulness of the premises. And fourth, determine the logical validity of the argument. Remember, with practice, these steps will become second nature, enabling you to evaluate arguments quickly and instinctively. Well, excellent work, everyone! Your dedication to mastering deductive arguments will undoubtedly enhance your thinking abilities. So, as we journey through the realm of informal logic, embrace the power of deductive reasoning. With each argument you encounter, ask yourself, what is the conclusion? Are the premises true? Is the logic sound? By becoming proficient in these skills, you'll sharpen your ability to make informed decisions and navigate life's challenges with confidence. Join us in the next episode, where we'll explore the fascinating world of inductive arguments and how they play a crucial role in our everyday lives. Understanding both deductive and inductive reasoning will empower you to become a skilled critical thinker and make well-informed judgments. Stay curious, stay engaged, and embrace the power of logical thinking.